Hello and welcome to the video. Thank you very much for tuning in and for watching. I really do appreciate it. It's a little bit later than normal, but it's now time for me as usual to talk about my solar PV stats here in the kind of sunny UK for July 2019. It's been a bit of a funny month, but the question really that I have is, was it better than May? So far May 2019 has been the best kind of solar generating month for me so far, and had my peak day. I think it was like 57 kilowatt hours in a day, which was fantastic. And in this video we're going to obviously talk about kind of how the system has performed. So again, just as a quick refresher, it's a 9 kilowatt array, and I have a 6 kilowatt inverter, and I do have a Tesla Powerwall 2, and I also have MyEnergi Eddi for heating the hot water, and a MyEnergi Zappi which I use to charge my Tesla Model S. A bit different to normal. I normally take a picture on the last day of each month before going to bed of the readout on my Zappi and on my Eddi. There's been a few things going on family wise, so it's been a bit chaotic and I didn't get a chance to take those pictures, so I'm hoping that the MyEnergi app is able to give me the information that I need. So we'll see how things go in this video. As usual, before we kind of jump in to the computer, we'll look at the estimates for this month. So if I just get this loaded up on my screen. Okie dokie. So in terms of system performance, so the installer calculation was that I should generate around 1007 kilowatt hours in the month of July. My estimates were a little bit lower at 1005. And if you haven't seen previous videos, it tends to be kind of somewhere in the middle, and there's not really much variance in terms of my estimation and installer's estimation. So if we were to say about 1006 kilowatt hours for the month of July 2019, that would be pretty damn good. So if we just jump on the old system here, we can see the system produced in the month of July 2019 1.08 megawatt hours. That's 1080 kilowatt hours. So it did smash through the estimates for July, which is fantastic, because if we quickly scroll down the bottom before going into more detail, June was pretty crap. So you can see here that July just crept over what we had in May. So July has so far been the best month that I've had, and you will notice here in blue we have the 2018 stats, and you can see I'm very close to having this system for a whole year. So 24th of August will be when I've had the system for a whole year, and then I will do another video. Need to do a bit of number crunching, but basically talk about how has my system kind of operated over the last 12 months. What does that mean in terms of my payback? How is it performing? Am I happy? Has it met expectations? I think it's really important. It's going to be an important video to kind of discuss and see if the system has met my expectations. And more importantly, is there anything I would do differently if I was to do things again? And that may help you out in your kind of solar decisions. So let's go back up again so we can see what's going on. Right, so we had the 1.08 megawatt hours of electricity generated during the month. I was able to self-consume 86% of it, and 14% was exported. So that's 0.93 megawatt hours that I used myself, and exported 0.15 megawatt hours. In terms of the consumption, so I did use a total of 1.03 megawatt hours, so I did do some pulling from the grid, but you can see I exported more than I brought in. So as far as I'm concerned, that's fantastic. That's like the ideal, which isn't going to be happening too much. And one of the reasons for quite high consumption, I think, really, during July was it was incredibly humid and muggy here in the UK. So especially here in the cave, it's quite well insulated, and it's kind of above the garage is where the kind of cave office area is. So I had the air conditioning on pretty much all day, every day for most of the month, especially during the week. Sorry, not the weekends. I'm not in here that much the weekends, but yeah. So that I was able to minimise my exporting to the grid by basically having that on. So it's still impressive that I was able to export 14%. So let's have a quick look. You can see before we go into the detail, I don't know what the weather was like where you are, but at the beginning of July it started off pretty good. We were like, yes, look at this, cracking days. I was still hoping maybe it might be possible for the system to have crept all the way up to a 60 kilowatt hour day, but I don't think it's going to happen because I think the weather starts to go downhill from here, but we shall see. You can see here one day in the month, that was the 15th. We'll see what happened on that day, see if I can refresh my memory, but a lot of consumption on the 15th there. But the rest of the month, it's kind of been weird that the weather here for July has been humid but cloudy and overcast. I've not had many days that had a really good solar curve with a good flat line clipping at the top. Not great at all, but excuse me, I just have a quick drink. Let's jump in to the play-by-play, as it were, and see how things have gone each day. So if you see, start off beginning of the month, some good generation there, lots of exporting going on. I think because towards the end of June was pretty good. I think the Powerwall was doing really well. The car was pretty well charged. If you remember as well, it wasn't that long ago I had my hand surgery, so I haven't had to drive for a couple of weeks either. So that meant that the car obviously wasn't getting used, which means there wasn't really any energy to put back into the car. But let's go through. So first day, pretty good, some good export there. 37.98 kilowatt hours on the one day. Next day, again, you can see this I'm talking about, it's really overcast. We can see this real good solid line of clipping from around 8:15 through till 10 o'clock. A good generation day overall, 46.61 kilowatt hours, but again, very overcast, very cloudy, and again, a lot of export going on, again, because the Powerwall's getting charged, the hot water is being heated, and there's nothing going into the car, so we're just pushing it back out to the grid. This is probably the best day, I think, of July. So 50.09 kilowatt hours generated overall, and again, still lots of export. You can see here up until 11 o'clock it's pretty good, then we start to get overcast throughout the rest of the day. Moving through, oh, maybe this was the best day, 55 kilowatt hours. What am I talking about? So yeah, this is a really good day actually. So I would say up until about lunchtime, then where we would like to have seen a curve coming down here, it did just kind of get a little bit cloudy, but again, mass amount of export. Could have filled another Powerwall there, nearly another two Powerwalls in fact. Here we go. I'm not sure why we got these little surges of consumption going on over here. I can only just imagine it, I don't know, maybe some cooking or a kettle or something, the system couldn't react quick enough. But yeah, not sure why we got those little peaks, another hump down there as well. Now reality kicks back in. So we had like, was it four or 5 days of massive amounts of export. Then we've got a weird day. So again, we consumed it all, which is what we always want to do. A little bit of exporting, but we did need to import more than we exported, which isn't really that great, but is what it is. Again, a similar day again, lots of overcast, a couple of little peaks of 6 kilowatts there that we hit, but overall 35.95 kilowatt hours. Same story, very overcast, but we're getting some decent generation. Same again. I just realised I've lost lighting. So let's see here. A couple of spikes here, not sure what's going on there. I wonder if, I think the Powerwall must have run out, look. And so yeah, Powerwall's run out. It's done a little couple of surges here just to kind of cycle itself, and then it didn't do too much charging because it thought that the generation of the day would kind of top it back up again a bit, which it clearly did. Battery ran out again, massive spikes here, so that must have been, I don't know if I left the car plugged in or something. I'm not quite sure why we got this massive spike there at 1:30 in the morning. Unless maybe this is the first time I've ever seen the Powerwall do that spike, because it can spike up to 7 kilowatts, which makes sense because the house runs at about 500 watts. So maybe it was just a big spike. I've never seen it go over 5 kilowatts before, but interesting. More Powerwall charging going on early in the morning. Crappy overcast day, but some solid generation. We got everything must have been full at some points because we've got some green there and some export going on, just under 3 kilowatt hours. 28.8. So these are kind of, you wouldn't think this is English summer, would you? Or maybe you would. Halfway kind of through the month now. It's a good generation again, but again we're just not getting massive spikes. So there's kind of a constant of, what is it, 2 kilowatt, something like that, overall on average I'd say. Go through, look. Oh, this must, yeah, I remember this now. So even though we'd had some solid generation, I had a couple of issues. One was it was charging the Powerwall, but I didn't have anything left for hot water. So I did boost the hot water before I went to bed, and I think the car, I think I must have just started to drive again. So, and I must have driven the day before and needed some charge in the car, which I need to do tonight as well actually. And sod's law, we have a pretty good day. So I think the Powerwall had a good amount of charge in it, because it looks like we're already kind of full by 9:15 in the morning, because we charged from the grid, and so then we're dropping down just to heat and hot water, and it gets a bit cloudy again. Reasonable day of generation there. We can just see how cloudy it is, all these little peaks. It's not a consistent day. It's a cloud cover. This day was pretty terrible, look at that. Looks like the Powerwall, is that just balancing? Yeah, there's not much we can do about that. So again, not a great day, but nearly 5 kilowatt spike there, and a total generation of 26.49. That's not too bad. Again, terrible stuff. So not quite sure. This looks like it's bad, but it's really only 2.5 kilowatts. So 10 o'clock. I can just imagine we must have been doing something in the kitchen, and I don't know what, perhaps the Powerwall was still charging. I'm not quite sure why we got this big spike there. It must be that the Powerwall didn't have enough oomph in it, because we only generated 10.18 kilowatt hours in the whole day. And then you can see here we're just pulling from the grid for the evening. Pulling from the grid again in the morning, but not too much, because I think it thinks that there's going to be enough solar to kind of pump in, and there was 35.65 kilowatt hours in the whole day, so that was plenty enough to go back into the Powerwall and keep us going until the next morning. And again, like I said, it's been a weird month because it's been hot and humid, and it has been bright. It's very overcast, and we can see that here. Couple of 6 kilowatt spikes, but nothing amazing. But overall 41 kilowatt hours, which is pretty good. Again, not too bad. Looking forward to the 23rd. This is not a bad day. Look, this is quite a quick up curve, so it must be a bit cloudy in the morning. Some good consistent 6 kilowatt generation through until about 1 o'clock, which is kind of what I usually see up until 1, and the sun moves round the house. So a good solid 46.48 kilowatt hours on that day. Okay, sorry about that. The battery ran out on the camera. So here we are on the 25th of the month. So a good day of generation there, 49.37 kilowatt hours altogether. We can see a good amount of 6 kilowatt spikes over the day, quite a lot of excess, 11.57 kilowatt hours going back into the grid there. Next day is pretty pants. Look at that rubbish. One little spike there at midday up to 6 kilowatt, but the rest not so good, but enough. Again, 28.26 kilowatt hours throughout the whole day, so enough to charge the Powerwall and keep the house running. Oh, but look here, don't know why we're getting these odd spikes. So again, it looks like a big spike, but it's not. I can just imagine maybe, again, because of the humidity, maybe it's fridges kicking in or something that just kind of tipped it over the edge. But the Powerwall clearly runs out of juice at 7 o'clock in the morning. I think a couple of the nights during July I was doing lots of 3D printing. So I had 2 3D printers going pretty much 24/7, so I think that was helping with the consumption a lot. This would have been 10:45, showers, hair dryers or something, maybe at the weekend. So again, not looking good towards the end of the month still, but a couple of kind of cycle bursts going into the Powerwall there early hours of the morning. Some reasonable solar generation at 25.3 kilowatt hours. I think it started to just pull it out of the bag. That was it. 29th was a good solid day, so got a little bit of grid pull earlier in the morning, but then we got a good solid amount of solar during the day, so 49.35 kilowatt hours. I think a lot went into the car that day, actually, thinking about it as well. So Powerwall was charged, which should see us through to the morning without any problem. But then again, the weather starts to take a turn for the worse again towards the end of July. Still hot and humid as hell, but crappy. I think we had some rain maybe on that day as well. And then the last day of the month, again, Powerwall is running dry in the morning, so a little bit of a top up. Kind of sees us into the morning, but not enough, and we get through the whole day with 14.68 kilowatt hours, and that's it. So that completes the month. So let's just grab my phone and we can see, hopefully we'll see if we can see the performance of the rest of the system. So we'll look at the Powerwall first, because I know that that works and gives us the information that we need. So Powerwall for the month. So for the month of July, we put 309 kilowatt hours into the Powerwall, and we managed to get out of it 275 kilowatt hours. So that's not too bad. I'd still never get quite as good efficiency, that 90% efficiency that Tesla kind of claim, but we're in the high 80s, so I'm happy. I'm happy with how it's performing, so that's the main thing. Let's see if I can now get the information from the MyEnergi app. This will be the test. I'm not quite sure how accurate it's going to be perfectly honest with you, but see if we can get this to open. So, right, hang on. So we go to car and we go to maybe not. I hope you're going to enjoy yourself a nice beverage this evening whilst watching this. Well, that sucks, because the MyEnergi app shows me nothing. It says I had 0 grid consumption or export or anything last month. So, nope, now it's all gone off. Let's just wait and see if it's something to do with the app updating. but that is annoying. Right, yeah, it's just gone blank, so apologies for that. Again, got some family stuff going on, so kind of my mind wasn't too focused on this video, which is also why it's a few days later than normal. So I can't tell you how much went into hot water and how much went into the car. I should be able to check the car one. I'll put a little note below here, but I know that Eddi doesn't show you kind of last month's stats, so sorry. But yeah, I hope you continue to enjoy these videos. Thanks again for watching, and if you like the video, please like, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with other people, and also interested in how was your generation for July, please leave comments and information below. Was it better than May for you? So like I say, for me it was very, very close, slightly beating May, but a win is a win. And we'll see kind of what August brings us. It's not been a great start to August so far, but exciting times for me because I'm just going to hit that 1 year mark, and I'm really surprised how fast it's gone actually, a whole year with solar. So yeah, thank you again, and that's it. The stats for my solar PV system here in the UK for July 2019. I'm going to finish the rest of this cider and then head to bed. Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.